Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have another person from our key workers, not the military. Nope. It's those people you call when you're on the floor, you're bleeding out or whatever. And he's a paramedic. I think that's the right term. He'll probably correct me if I'm not. And he's going to tell us what it takes, what the route he took to become a paramedic and what motivates him. So nice to have you here today, Bob.
Yeah, nice to be here. I've just come off a 13-hour shift, so my route to being a paramedic was I went to university for 3 years at St George's. After that, I've spent the last 2.5 years.
Sorry, what GCSEs? Did you get any GCSEs?
So I got I had, I think it was either 11 or 12 GCSEs, something like that.
Season above?
Yeah, all of them, apart from one, English literature, which I got a D in. So I got 2 A stars, 4 A's, 5 B's, and then a D.
That's good.
But I leave the D out for most of my applications.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I did my A levels.
What's your A levels in?
So Spanish, French, and biology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can I ask, did you plan to be a paramedic or in an NHS thing, or were you just doing qualifications for?
So not initially, actually. Initially, I wanted to go into something with languages. I went to university the first time round and decided it wasn't the career path for me. So I took some time off, did some travelling, and then decided I wanted to do something a bit better and help people. And it just seemed to fit in the right. I sent off an application for the paramedic course and it just seemed to be all a perfect fit at the time.
When you went to uni the first time, what subject did you study, and what was that sign or that message that you got that you realised you were in the wrong industry?
So I was studying French, Spanish and Arabic, and I decided that the jobs that were available to me were either teaching based or a lot of behind the scenes translating work, which didn't really appeal to me. I just decided I wanted something a bit more active, see the community a bit more, and get more out of my job, as it were.
So in essence, did you finish that degree, that translation degree?
No, I didn't. I quit in the first year. Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say, so it sounds like you've had 2 careers, but one you just put on hold that you can always go back to in that respect.
Yeah.
Do you speak different languages?
Yeah, I speak French. I grew up partly in France for 4 years, and then I picked up Spanish at school. And then I was a tour guide as well for a while in Barcelona and Paris. But yeah, those were just jobs I was doing on the side.
So you're a people person then?
Yeah, to a degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your your degree was in, what was the name of your degree?
So paramedic science degree.
Paramedic science, and that's like run by NHS or something?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
Is it like a sandwich where you do a year working and the rest in the classroom, or is it 4 days on and 1 day off?
We have a mixture of placements and class-based stuff. So a lot of it you'll do, for example, for one term you'll do at least one placement mixed with a lot of class lectures and standard university type learning. But yeah, placements varied from working in A&E departments and doing airway management in surgeries, during surgery and things like that, to working at St Mungo's with key workers and seeing another side of how people live,
So,
alongside doing paramedic, standard paramedic ambulance placements as well.
how long is your placement? And when does it come in? Does it come in at start degree?
So the placements vary, and the placements all throughout every year of the degree. So some of them are only short placements, like 2-week placements. For example, when I was in A&E doing my cannulation training, that was 2 weeks, where we just learn how to do lots of cannulas and lots of patients, because each patient would need a cannula. But other placements, like our ambulance placements, would be often 3 months in length at a time.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. What would you say that you learn on the course? No, not just on, well, this is a double question. What would you say you learn on the course and during your work experience that you wish you knew when you had started?
That's a tricky one. I'm not sure, to be honest. If I wasn't so tired, I'd probably give you a better answer. But yeah, probably just working shifts and taking care of myself a bit more, and eating healthily, and all the stuff you kind of forget to do when you're working shift work. I wasn't probably prepared for it initially, but got used to it in the end.
Do you work from the same base? Like, I noticed there's like these ambulance portals all over London. Do you go to the same branch or portal every day, or you just go where you've been told to go?
So when I first started, I was on relief for 14 months. So relief basically means you cover whoever's either off sick or who's taking annual leave. So then in those days, I'd go to lots of different stations, Westminster, Brent, St John's Wood, Fulham, and a few other locations. So I just cover wherever needs to cover. But nowadays, I tend to stay out of one station, which is Westminster.
Is it like, I say the police, let's say I'm using an American example, where you're paired up with a partner? So
yes,
you go everywhere you go with that partner, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So at least you know how each other will work.
Yeah.
You work in a good team.
I do work with lots of different people, but generally speaking, I work with the same partner most of the time.
Okay.
I'd say probably 70% of the time I work with my partner, and the rest of the time I work with other individuals.
Okay.
And that's largely because we're 2 paramedics on one truck, and sometimes they need a paramedic to go with an emergency medical technician, or EAL, which is emergency ambulance crew.
So what's the difference? Is everybody a paramedic?
Not everyone's a paramedic. So EMTs or EACs, they do a few months training, which is on the job kind of training, and they get a probationary period for about a year. They can't give as varied amount of drugs, and they can't do certain airway procedures and a few other procedures, but it's largely the same role, just with a few added skills for paramedic.
Okay, so basically it's for people who may not have been able to afford the higher degree
potentially route. I mean, it is an economical way of doing it. People can become paramedics afterwards. Through that.
That would save you a lot of money.
It would do, yeah. And if I had it all to do over again, that's probably the way I would do it.
Oh, that's good to know. So do you call it EATS?
EACs, yeah, emergency ambulance crew.
Emergency ambulance crew.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that is 1 year, is that right?
Yes, so it's about I can't remember if it's 6 or 9 months training in a training school, and then you've got a year probationary period where they call them TEACs or trainee emergency ambulance crew.
Do they get paid during that time?
Yes, yeah,
So
the whole way through.
It's a much better way of going through it.
It is, yeah.
You get paid, you get experience.
I'm in 50k of debt. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And they don't write that off for you?
No, they don't write
Really?
us for us now.
You don't need to write a petition.
I know.
I'd sign it for you.
Yeah.
What? 50? Listen, man.
It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, no, I think this is a good thing. I need to pump this out. If you want to be a paramedic, you want to save money, Do your eats. Listen to what this Bob says. Okay, well, but of course we're happy that you are a paramedic because, you know. So what was the biggest shock when you started the shop, when you started the job? Because obviously it's a stressful job. There's a lot going on, and I take it you bring your work home with you at times and things you see. What was the biggest shock?
So, some of the incidents I've had to deal with, have got to me, but I think, there's been a few incidents patients I've seen too, which have been in a pretty bad way, which has got to me, but over time I've learned to kind of cope with it and compartmentalise it. It's important to take care of yourself and eat healthy and talk about what you've seen and what you've dealt with. And I think,
do they give you psychiatrists or
they do. So anything that is deemed potentially traumatising, they give you what's called a TRIM assessment.
That's military. TRIM assessment.
Is it? Yeah.
TRIM assessment. So they're really taking stuff from us.
They do. Yeah. Well, we've got 20%, I think it is, of all ambulance personnel have had some form of PTSD during their career.
I take my hat off to you because things involving kids, I don't
know
how I deal with that. I don't know. I just, I don't suppose it's different from adults in a great way.
Yeah, it is.
Stuff
Those are the jobs people I would never. If I never see that in my career, I'll be a happy man, really.
Yeah. Tell me about it. What would you change, apart from pay, obviously, because this is what I asked the cute nurse, she went, pay,
just get more, yeah.
What would you change or improve if you could regarding the role of the paramedic?
If I could improve, I guess probably
I've got one for you straight away.
Better working hours.
So what would you rather the 8 hours instead of the 12 hours?
If I didn't have to do extra days work, so if they could just cut my hours completely but gave me the same pay, then I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
but
that probably wouldn't work.
That's exactly it. It wouldn't work.
I've got one for you. I don't think you should pay for your degree.
I
think everybody should actually go through that EGS, you said? The EATS.
The E-group,
yeah. I think, just because I think everybody should go through that route because that sounds more practical. And
it is practical,
I'm a big fan of learning on the job, but also hitting the paperwork later on to make sure you understood what you learned.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. I think it is a good way of doing things. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you see this as a lifetime career for yourself?
On an ambulance, no. I think I've got another probably maximum 4 or 5 years left on an ambulance.
How many years have you been doing this?
So it's coming up to 3 years.
Okay.
But there's so much scope to do other kind of practice, upskilling. They've now got paramedics working in GP surgeries, urgent care centres, A&Es, even ITUs.
So that's interesting because you're real trauma based. And correct me if I'm wrong here, because I keep on lining it up with when I was a team medic in the military, and our role was you stabilise your oppo. So you got the platinum 10 minutes, a golden hour, and you stabilise him like within the first 10 minutes. Then the real medic, the squad medic or what have you, will get to you or get to him, and then you lot will drag him back to the helo. They take him back.
Yeah.
So I kind of see you lot's role as that. But obviously there's no one shooting at you, you're just stabilising the person and bringing them and getting them to somebody else. Why I'm saying this is, in the GP, how are you seen then? When you put in the GP, are you seen as like equivalent to the GP? He studied longer, but you're used to deal with the real emergency situation. So in a sense, you've got one up on him?
I wouldn't say I've got one up on a GP. I think GPs they're used to dealing with more primary kind of care, which is non-emergency kind of stuff, and a lot of stuff that goes through GP's doors is non-emergency stuff. Having said that, there is, paramedic degree isn't a medical degree, and there's a lot more knowledge to be learned. But yeah, we do get an advantage, I guess, in the sense that we're more adaptable to certain situations. And specifically things like expedition medicine, a lot of paramedics have got quite a lot of praise because they're more used to adapting situations where they've got limited resources. Whereas a GP or a doctor will always have a team of personnel to help them.
You need a controlled environment.
Yeah, in a controlled environment. Yeah.
He's trained in a controlled environment where you're used to working under high pressure situation because there's family members screaming at you. There may be still an issue going on with a fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I just want to save his life.
Exactly.
I haven't come to join the fight. Honest, in that respect of things. Okay. So what's the impact you want to have on the world?
What's the impact? That's a deep question.
Yeah,
that's I don't know. I want to, just play my part and do good, and that's all really.
Okay. That's good. Well, I hope Boris gives you more money, better than 1%. Because does that cover you guys as well? It covers the whole NHS?
I'm not really sure. I haven't been following it massively.
Well, I guarantee one thing that does cover you guys is the 1.7% tax, right?
Yeah.
So you need to find out about the 1%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
At the very least, they should have given you 1.7%.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't get taxed more. But it shows what happens. Maybe it'd have been better if Boris had not been saved, I don't know. It's a bit of a strong one, but
Boris is he's not anyone's favourite person within the NHS, I don't think.
That's probably why they got foreign nurses to look after him instead of English nurses.
Maybe.
Yeah. In that respect, but okay. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Just to recap slightly, so GCSEs degree, so you need 4 GCSEs, C's and above, would you say?
I think it might be 5 GCSEs, definitely English and Maths, and some sciences as well.
And then you do your no A-levels, or is it a degree?
Yeah, you can do A-levels. I think you can even do a BTEC or other higher level education if you want. But yeah.
Okay, and the easier route, if you don't want to do a degree and you don't want to put yourself in debt, is to do this EAL.
Yeah, so emergency ambulance crew, and just train on the job. Yeah.
So,
they have been slowly moving away from that, unfortunately, but it is still a possible route.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're moving away with that, so they've seen it's a loophole.
Yeah, so they want to make it more university-based because they want more...
people in uni.
Yeah, they want there to be more evidence-based practice, which is a lot of essay writing and studies and things like that, and they want paramedics to be involved with that. So
okay. All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Cheers.
And we wish you well.
Yeah, thank you.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.